Hello and welcome to GPTV on Tuesday the 29th of August. My name's Philip Kingston.
And I'm Gary Peer.
And Gary, you noticed that I went a little longer on the 29th of August, and the reason I did that is because I'm pretty excited because winter is coming to an end.
Yes, it's bye-bye winter, hello spring, and we are ready to rock and roll into the big selling season of the year. Phil, I got to tell you, I'm excited and I'm feeling fit and well for it, but you look a little bit battered and bruised there, a little bit like... bit of a Napoleon-like pose on the weekend, and I know one of the auctions I had to come and clap for you because you were like, Gary, come up here quickly. The trove sheep going. And then, you would have hurt yourself and been back in hospital. So I want to know what happened to the other guy. What does the other guy look like?
So obviously I've had so many different stories about what's happened to my hand. And, obviously there's been a lot of talk about, did I have this hand round the throat of a buyer or seller?
Yes.
And of course, that's not the way we behave. We would never inflict that sort of physical aggression in order to put a deal together.
We pay people for that.
But I've said this many times on GPTV, you've got to get your skin checked, We live in a harsh climate.
Yes.
Skin cancer is the thing. I had a little dot that appeared on my ring finger on my left hand, just pointing it to it. That's my right hand, Gary, not my left hand.
Okay.
But a little dot that started to grow a little bit. I took it to the dermatologist and he looked at it and said, no, that's got to come off. And off it did, together with stitches in my wrist and here. It has been a horrible ordeal, but I've been given the all clear to say I will make it at least to the end of the year.
You're no spring chicken anymore, are you, really? I mean, that's what happens, you get a bit older, you don't really realise it, but, things start breaking down a little bit, starts with a finger, spreads through, and look, for somebody that's as fitness and as health aware as you are, it's not fair, is it?
I know,
it's not
I know.
Right, it's not
you
fair.
Go to bed late, you live on a diet of Kentucky Fried Chicken
Twisties.
and Coca-Cola.
And don't forget Twisties,
I'm
love
convinced
Twisties. Cheese only.
I'm convinced with all of that stuff that you put into your body, it actually works like chemotherapy, where it just poisons everything else within your system.
And everything else is immune. But because you're so fit and healthy and you eat
all the broccoli I eat.
All the broccoli and all that stuff, it breaks you down. It's like, Jackie Mason talked about, you go into a vegetarian store, and everybody's thin and, they're pale and they're going around, like
reading
very
labels.
Carefully, and they're reading labels. And then you go next door and there's, a schnitzel house and everybody's big and jolly and happy and eating and put more potatoes and put some more salt on those chips. And I've got to say, Phil, could be something in it.
There may well be.
May not live as long, but live a lot happily.
There may well be, but as this is a real estate show, I just want to segue, of course, into the fact that we've just had a fabulous weekend selling 19 out of 22 auctions with an 86% clearance rate, Gary, against the industry average of 66%, which is okay, industry. It's okay at 66, but I'm pretty sure that 86 trumps 66.
I think so,
Gary.
even with our poor maths form in VCE.
Let's put those towers up.
And play some Boast music. Oh,
do you realise 86 versus 66?
Yep.
So if you subtract 66 from 86, you get 22.
Yeah.
And then if you divide 66 by 22, you get 33.33%.
Yep.
So our statistics were 33.5% higher than the industry stat. So
Phil, I'm going to say something here.
I love the maths.
I'm going to say something here. No one likes a boastful real estate agent. It's like nobody likes real estate agents boasting. The humility, Phil, is what we should be practicing. But sometimes it's hard to be humble, when you're not, it's a song, hard to be humble when you're perfect in every way. Well, that's certainly not the case, but it is hard to be humble with a great result like that. And well done to our sellers, our buyers, and to all of our agents that work so bloody hard. They really do, Phil. Go on.
I don't think that just bringing the facts to the table, Gary, is boasting.
Yeah, but there's the boast music and there's the whole dance and there's the cockiness and the, some people call it arrogance, some people look at those guys, when, something
you're swearing a bit on today's
something rose with bankers.
Show.
Yeah, I shouldn't say that. But anyway, Phil, that's...
Come on, take us through some of the results that we've had across the week, Gary.
We're allowed to be joyous every now and then because, we do it hard sometimes too, Philip. It's not an industry that's necessarily easy all the time, is it, Phil? It's tough. It's long hours.
Best industry on the planet,
I
Gary.
love it, Phil, but it's not always easy. We saw someone on the weekend that came to an auction and they knew us in our childhood years, as you probably remember, and they said, we haven't seen you've done so well. I go, if we've done so well, why are we working on Sunday and you're on a T-shirt here on holidays from the United States? Like, how is that us doing well? So riddle me that one, Batman. Let's get back to real estate anyway. Anyway, we are goodbye winter, hello spring, and it's coming to the exciting season. And I've got to say, Phil, if these clearance rates are any indication of what's ahead of us, it's going to be a very exciting spring.
Well, I think, Gary, the market has got a generally positive mood.
There's a kick.
I think buyers have come to the conclusion that if interest rates are going to go up again, they're only going to go up marginally and possibly for the last time. And there's also talk about a lot of consumers saying we think interest rates are actually going to start coming down.
That's right, Phil.
All we needed to see was the plateau, really. Yes. We've probably seen it, and I think that buyers have now recalculated their ability to borrow, and we're now seeing a bit more semblance of calm in the marketplace.
And I keep saying, Phil, to all those buyers out there, for people like you and me that've got grey hair and yours that's artificially coloured with something that'll not make it grey, I have to say that for those buyers, Phil, we were at 18%, 17%, we were paying big bucks in interest rates. So this sort of interest rate situation, even though it's caught some people unawares, Phil, it's still, I would say it's not a very high interest rate. Yeah, are you in pain right now?
No, I'm actually just channeling my wife at the moment.
Okay, I know. I thought she had a word to you.
My wife has said to me, Philip, in fact, she didn't just say Philip. She used some other adjectives and names to describe me. She said, I've got to stop talking over you. So I'm actually just holding my sore hand and almost squeezing a little bit to get some pain happening so I can stop myself from talking over the trivial banter that you go on with.
Would you like me to help and give it a little squeeze on the way through? I'm happy to join in, Phil. I have no problem with that at all. I love you, Irene. Always have loved you and always said that you're a very wise woman. So thanks for those words of advice. Shall we move through, talk about some of our auctions on the weekend, some of the things that happened, Phil?
Let's do that, Gary.
Because, I'm worried about you. You're in a little bit of pain up there. It's drugged up with something. What do you take for that sort of?
Nurofen.
Yep.
I'm also taking Panadol. And I'm also taking, although I've only taken 2 tablets, oxytocin, which I'm pretty sure was responsible for pretty much poisoning most of America.
Right.
So I've only had 2 tablets.
How's it working out for you right now?
Well, I had 2. Funnily enough, I had 2 and did not make any difference whatsoever. Right? I think my tolerance to painkillers is pretty high, Gary.
How many auctioneers do we have in our office?
I think we've got 9.
Got 8 or 9, yeah. Can those auctioneers in our office just be on standby for the weekend, just in case? You never know what might happen. But look, it's been a good ride so far. But you just stay healthy and just don't go anywhere. Don't go changing on me now you're here, and get yourself right. Phil, let's talk about the weekend that was. An 86% clearance rate doesn't happen by chance. There's a lot of effort put in by our guys, but also a lot of exciting results out there. Some of the auctions were very, very fruitful and very active and very exciting day. We'll talk about a few. Phil, we talk about blocks of apartments. Don't we love them?
3 blocks last week, Gary. 3 blocks we sold last week. 1 in East Brighton, 1 in Elwood, and 1 in St Kilda. So blocks of flats or blocks of apartments, of course.
Caught yourself out.
Caught myself out. We've always regarded them as good investments, and I think there's a bit of a lull in that market at the moment where some buyers have pulled back. But I think there's really great opportunity, and I think anybody that buys a block of apartments at the moment is really going to look back in a few years' time going, gee, how smart I was.
I'm out of order here, Phil, but I'm going to talk about a block that's just been listed. This is 33 Orange Grove. I'm a little bit in love with this property. Wow. This is a beautiful, because Orange Grove's a great address.
Does it get any better in Balaclava than Orange Grove?
I don't believe it does. And these are 8 magnificent, I would say almost oversized, 1-bedroom Art Deco or Tudor style apartments, Phil. This has just come on the market.
Clinker brick, I think, is probably a more accurate description.
You could describe it that way too. English style maybe.
Yeah, English style.
Tudor style. Anyway, that is a beautiful block of apartments. They're all on separate titles, Phil. And if you want to come and have a look at something incredible, it's just going to be open today for the first time and again on Thursday. But I digress, Phil, from what we're talking about, because Dickens Street was the auction that we were smelling the sea air there. And Dickens Street, first time sold in a long, long time. And some of the money, it's an estate, some of the money going to wonderful charities like Peter McCallum, I think is one of them, Philip. $3,200,000 that sold for, Phil. And well done to the buyer, who is quite an identity.
It is.
And quite well known as well.
They are.
They are, Phil. We move on to Centre Road, which is in Clayton South, Phil. And I had my, had my lunch packed. I was ready to go out to Clayton South. I had my passport ready, Phil. And I say that in jest because we've sold in Seaford and Patterson Lakes this week. But Clayton South is an area we have had some great success in. And this property at 1426 Centre Road, Clayton South, Phil, that sold for $455,000. So well done.
Thank you for sharing that.
To those buyers and sellers alike. Phil, Mercer Road, Armidale, you had a bit of fun in around the corner from your joint, didn't you? Tell us a bit about that.
Well, it was a terrific auction. We had 2 buyers really compete with it right from the start. In fact, the opening bid almost put the property on the market. In fact, I think it probably did. But that was a great result. And Mercer Road, of course, you would expect a property to go well there, given how close it is to High Street, Armidale.
Premier address. We've got something special coming up in Armidale Street too. Another little exclusive GPTV, not yet on the market. But if you like that street, give us a call quickly. Phil, well done that 523 Mercer Road, Armidale. We had a very busy Sunday. I had the honours of auctioning 60A Cambrook Road in Caulfield North on Sunday morning, which sold within its range. Its range was 1.2 to 1.32, so sold its kind of upper level there. We had some busy auctions later in the day. 28 Latrobe Street was one of them, Phil. A lot of competition.
A long, drawn-out auction, that one, Gary.
Price undisclosed. But
two buyers really went head-to-head on that.
Yep.
In fact, we had 4 people bid for it, but there were 2 main parties. And I think that achieved a very strong result. But, you know, west side of the street, slightly wider than average frontage. So from a development point of view, a really good parcel of land.
Well done to Arlene Joffe, who handled that sale together with Daniel Peer. Got to say also, Phil, that I reckon land's back. You know, I reckon land was a bit stinky about 6 months ago. I don't know if that's a very professional
real estate term?
Yeah, stinky. No, it was a little bit on the nose. I just felt that the blocks of land that we had 6 months ago, people weren't that gung-ho about them.
Well, with building costs and all of the issues around uncertainty, you do get a lull. But land is that blank canvas that you know, when it comes back into favour, it comes back strongly. And Latrobe Street really was an indication of the strength of land in the market.
Do you think the heading for this episode could be "Land is not stinky anymore"?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, fair enough. Anyway, went very well. And congratulations again to the vendor, who I think is a bit of a GPTV watcher, perhaps, Phil. And you know, it's interesting because we sold that property in Eskdale Road also to a builder. We talked about it last week, and you know, paid homage to the buyer and who watched and commented accordingly, and you know, was still got his couldn't get out of his door to go to the Carlton match the other day because his head was too swollen from how good looking he told him he was. But you know, and he bought that saying, "I'm looking forward to the development I'm going to have in 2025," and it was the same for the buyer of this property.
Well, if you think about it, you buy a block of land for development today. By the time you go through town planning, by the time you get your permit, by the time you assemble the building crew, actually build it and get it on the market, it's generally a 2 to almost 3 year period.
And I reckon there hasn't been much sold. So a lot of these forward-thinking developers, they're going to have it to themselves in 2025.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, something brand new. So congratulations to them. Well done. And a lot of other good results, Phil. I'm not going to bore everyone by going through them, but you did have a good time in Horson Avenue, Glen Huntly. And gee, don't we love Glen Huntly? 4 bidders on that particular property.
That was terrific. And we went up, I can't remember the numbers because it went that quickly, but I think I was taking $1,000 rises for about the last $60,000 or $70,000.
Yeah, that was a
incredible.
A very hot auction, and well done to Rafi Joffe and the team from the projects team here at Gary Pier that sold 402 at 495 Glen Huntly Road, Elswickville. That's a bit of a benchmark property, wasn't it?
Well, it's just the best building, and certainly everybody that's moving into that building, because they're doing it as we speak, they all are just in love with the finished product. So we sell a lot of property off the plan, and you know, it's sometimes a bit of a leap of faith with what you buy off the plan. Is it what you're going to get? And I'm proud to say that the developers that we work with deliver exactly what they promise, and that's a perfect example.
There might be something left in that building too, if you want to get in there. Phil, the theory that people don't like main roads, won't live on main roads, don't want to buy on main roads, what are you going to do about that after the Glenaya Road auction with Leo Samuel?
Well, that was extraordinary in so many ways. I think the price on that is undisclosed, but apparently we had 7 people bidding.
That was our hottest auction.
Sold well in excess of the reserve price. And just goes to show, you know, people talk about main roads. There is always a discount factor for buying on a main road, but you drive down any main road, Dandenong Road, Balaclava Road, Glenara Road, Orong Road, Kooyong Road, the lights are on at night. Everybody's living in these houses.
No vacancies there, are there?
No. So ultimately, a property on a main road is probably going to sell at somewhere between a 10 and 15% discount to what it would
on
be
occasion,
around the corner.
Can be.
So,
not always.
Ultimately, it just becomes a numbers game, doesn't it? Because I think those people that have lived on a main road, you don't hear the noise after about a week. And certainly today, with all of the great insulation techniques, you can be on a main road with double glazing and you would not even know it.
Well, having lived on the Esplanade in Brighton, Phil, for a very, very short time. You know, the first day I was there, first night, woke up at 6 o'clock with the trucks going down the hill, and I thought, this is not good. This is not good. Never heard again after that day. Maybe it was just that one truck. I don't know. But no, I just never heard again. Anyway, let's get into this weekend's auctions and some special offerings, Phil, because we have got no less than 22 auctions coming up this weekend.
Busy weekend.
Busy weekend. We're going to let you have the week off during the weekend. I've got to say, very brave you were, because he did those auctions with that hand, just about came straight out of his hospital bed, straight to, your gavel on the other hand, Phil. But
Gary, the show must go on.
It has to go on, Phil, doesn't it? Anyway, let's talk about some of the ones that we have coming up this weekend, because we've got a superb auction of superb selection of spring auctions coming at you this weekend. Shall we review them?
Let's do it.
Phil, we start off with some early morning auctions this Saturday, which I'm looking forward to. I'm off to Radcliffe Avenue, Cheltenham. I've been there before. I'm going there again. Have a look at this terrific villa unit.
What, Phil, a great development, Gary. 2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom and a car space. That is a really good property with its own courtyard garden, very affordable.
We'll let you have a little sleep in on Saturday, Phil. Get your recovery right. At 10:30, it's going to be Graham Callan, who's got the auction honours in Anzac Street, Carnegie, lest we not forget, Phil, this terrific address.
Gary, what a beautiful address and what a beautiful apartment, and very affordable. 2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, 1 car space, a really nice leafy garden aspect and beautiful timber floors.
Simon Radolnik hits the auction circuit at 10:30am, filling in Leham Avenue in Oakley South.
Gary, 3 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, plenty of off-street car parking, a lock-up garage, a really wonderful parcel of land of 580 square metres. So you're getting the land, you're getting the house, you're getting the opportunity.
Phil, Raffy Joffe is going to be meeting up at 10:30 with Jeremy Rosens to auction this terrific apartment on Dandenong Road.
Gary, we've sold in this building before. It's a really good building because you can walk to everywhere from there. You've got the tram on your doorstep. You've got Glenferrie Road on your doorstep. A beautiful apartment. Meet Raffy there. He'll show you through. It's a great location.
Jeremy Rosens will be jumping from there just down to Elwood, where he does so much wonderful work. He's going to be in 46 to 48 John Street, Elwood, together with Matthew Morley.
Gary, what a great opportunity, because we've got 2 houses there. We've got 533 square metres of land. You're walking distance to the canal. You're walking distance to the walking track. Of course, you're walking distance to a walking track.
Yeah,
well, I suppose you could be car driving distance from a walking track.
Or you could just walk to the walking track and then not walk the walking track.
But, you've got Ormond Road, Elwood. You've got all of the best facilities of Elwood there on your doorstep. So much opportunity.
Phil, sometimes we can be very cavalier and almost dismissive about good properties, but there's no being dismissive about the property in Cavalier Street in Bentley East. Phil, I've got auction honours to kick off my second auction for Saturday morning at 11:30am in Bentley East.
Gary, again, what a great opportunity, because you've got a 4 bedroom, 2 bathroom home, but you're also on 557 square metres of land. This is just a great opportunity. We love beautifully livable houses that are sitting on good parcels of land because you've got so much upside.
Phil, Poth Road, Murrumbina, it's a fabulous address, so much going on in that area. Jack Slater's been handling this, Leor Samuel auctions, and that's going to happen also at 11:30am.
2 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, 1 car space, storage cage, everything that opens and shuts. That is a great property.
Back in Elwood, Phil, we're doing the Elwood Grew. Jeremy Rosens again has his third auctions of the day, this time at 2 at 10 at Dickens Street, Elwood. What a great property.
Well, an oversized apartment in so many ways. 2 really good sized bedrooms, a big living room, a kitchen with a dining area. That's got everything. And of course, Dickens Street is just the best location.
Talking about the best, Phil, we have kept 12:30 time slot free for you and I to meet together and auction what is somewhat of an iconic home, Philip. This is one of the best, if not the best home to be offered in Glenhuntly and surrounds. Tell us about 27 Augusta Street, Phil.
Well, Gary, I did a video tour there. I think this has got to be one of my favourite all-time homes. And Augusta Street in Glenhuntly is just the most incredible position, because you've got the Boran Reserve, you've got Glenhuntly Road tram, you've got the Glenhuntly train station, the supermarket, all of the cafes. But the house itself, it's extraordinary. It's one of the best renovations I think I've ever seen. 5 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, off-street car parking for 2 cars, and the most magnificent swimming pool and back garden. The architectural detail to that home is nothing short of extraordinary.
And no more ding, 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 because that train line, Phil, that's finished now. It's under the ground. You can just drive over
Not that
Huntley
you'd hear
Road
it from Augusta Street anyway,
Not
Gary.
that, yeah, but I'm talking about the convenience, Phil, of just being able to get in and out and across near Huntley Road. It's changed everything, I reckon. Changed my life, Phil. What about you?
Yep, changed mine completely.
Yeah, 185 Gardenvale Road. That could change the life of a buyer because it's one of the biggest town residences that I've ever seen. Phil, tell us a little bit about this because you're auctioning it at 1:30 on Saturday.
Gary, it's brand new and beautiful. Everything that opens and shuts. It really is the most magnificent property. And of course, you can walk from there to the shops in Gardenvale Road, Martin Street, the train station. It's really the most fabulous position, that home is beautiful.
That whole pocket, Phil, it's really changed, hasn't it? You know, it was a bit of a sleepy hollow. Now it's just alive.
It has.
Phil, the other auction at 1:30, Jeremy Roses is doing is a busy man on Saturdays, meeting with Darren Krongold and the team to auction this terrific apartment in the heart of St Kilda. Love the look of this building.
What a beautiful building, Gary. That is 2 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, and a secure car space. And the building is fabulous, but also, you know, you're just walking distance to all that St Kilda East and Balaclava has to offer.
That kicks us into Sunday, Phil. We're going to start off at 10:30 a.m. We're going to make you get up early on Sunday because you have a very busy day. So I hope you've recovered well and truly by then. You'll have a quiet Saturday, but Sunday, we're going to work you to the bone, Mr. Kingston. We're going to start off at 10:30 a.m. in Caulfield East in Tattenham Street with Leo Samuel.
Gary, I love this property. This is 4 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, a lock-up garage, a second car space. This home is absolutely testament to what happens when good architecture and good building and great location combine. And congratulations to the vendor who has produced the most beautiful home.
That vendor does the best job always. Whatever he touches is always awesome, Phil. 11:30 a.m. we've got triple auction action, Philip. I've got the absolute honour and privilege of auctioning 23B Webb Street. I love this single level villa, 1 of 2, Phil, situated at the back. What a great looking property.
3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms and a double lock-up garage, which is always hard to find because most of these properties have a single lock-up garage. It's also got a fabulous courtyard garden, and Webb Street is a standout address.
After a busy Saturday, Jeremy Rosens comes back on Sunday morning to auction 105 at 120 Hotham Street with Nikki Janover. Love this building.
2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, 1 secure car space. That is a beautiful property, Gary, and a really, really luxurious building.
At 11:30, Phil, we're going to be in Stephen Street for, again, a fantastic parcel of land. This is Stephen Street, just off Glenira Road, not too far away from the racecourse. 1 and 1A, been in the same hands for a long time, as I understand.
1,290 square metres of land, incredible. Gary. So, you know, this could be your dream home, it could be an investment, or it could be a development site subject to council approval, but that's a great property, and Stephen Street is really a great address.
Phil, the number 1 home in terms of visits at this week's Open for Inspection was the one that you're going to be auctioning at 12:30. I'm coming along to join you there. This is 3 at 249 Balaclava Road, a wonderful apartment, Philip, with sweeping views over the park off a very beautiful big terrace.
Well, Gary, the kitchen meals family room overlooks the terrace, which overlooks Caulfield Park. It faces north. It's a beautiful building. Only 5 apartments in this building. You've got basement car parking for 2 cars, so it's 2 or 3 bedrooms, 2.5 bathrooms, basement secure parking for 2 cars. That is a premier building at a premier address.
No question about it, Phil. We're looking forward to that one getting to auction on Saturday at 12:30. If you want to see a popular auction, come along to that. Philip, at the same time, there's going to be another auction which has also been attracting great attention. That's in McGowan Avenue, Glenhuntly. The Samuel brothers are handling that one, Phil.
Well, Gary, we love the streets that radiate off Booran Road, and this is a great property, 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, and a lock-up garage, wraparound courtyard gardens. That really is a beautiful home.
Great looking villa, Phil, in this very boutique and quality complex in Narrawong Road. That's 4 at 20 to 22 Narrawong. You're going to be auctioning that at 1:30.
Again, a fabulous single-storey home, 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, and a double lock-up garage. And Narrawong Road really has emerged as one of the best streets of Caulfield South.
It sure has. 1 at 5 Silverley Grove, Philip, is slated for auction at 1:30. May well be sold, but if not, come along to this fantastic single-level villa, Phil. I'm
3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, and a double lock-up garage.
2:30, we are auctioning another incredibly iconic property, Phil. Somewhat of a landmark. I'm looking forward to meeting you at that property. It is Club Med Caulfield North, Phil.
Gary, this is an extraordinary property. 1,192 square metres of land. It includes a north-south tennis court, a swimming pool, 6 bedrooms, 4.5 bathrooms, undercover parking for 2 cars, and you could probably park another couple of cars there as well. This Gary is really a standout resort-style family entertainer, as the brochure says.
Look forward to seeing you there at 2:30. That's a kind of once-in-a-lifetime opportunity as far as I'm concerned, Phil. And we'll finish off, as the South Africans call it, Pretoria, Phil. Pretoria.
Gary,
we're going to be there.
What a great address that one is too, just coming off Hawthorne Road. This is also a single-storey home, 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, a lock-up garage, gorgeous garden areas. Move straight into this one, and what a great location.
It is a great location, Phil. That's 2 at 8 Pretoria Street. And Phil, we are going to keep you going from 10:30 to 4:30. I'm feeling sorry for you at the moment, and if you need some help, I'm happy to step in. There are a lot of other auctioneers here, but you happen to be the man in demand, and you're going to be at 4:30 because we know this one has also been popular. 29 Beach Street, Caulfield South.
Gary, we love Beach Street. You know, the whole Princess Park area, that precinct is just so incredible.
Yep.
It's also serviced, of course, by the tram in Hawthorne Road. But Princess Park is incredible, and this is one of the area's finest homes. And we have 5 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, a double lock-up garage, wraparound garden areas. What a great opportunity to buy into what I think is just the most incredible area.
I've got to agree with you, Phil. It's a fantastic parkside living at its finest. Phil, that is a big wrap. We've got a few properties we're going to review before we go. This one in Clark Avenue, Phil, I know it's quite, it's one that you're very fond of and have been making a lot of noise about, so let's share it with the viewers.
Gary, 5 bedrooms, a study, 2.5 bathrooms, plenty of off-street car parking, a beautiful west and northwest facing back garden, and it sits on 690 square metres of prime land. And Clark Avenue, you know, situate between Neeram Road and Glen Huntley Road,
yep.
It's just a great location there. But that's a beautiful home.
It's a beauty, Philip, and as is this property that we'd like to review that I've got the auction honours of, working with Arlene Joffe, and that is 1 at 8 Ashgrove in Caulfield.
Great address there too, Gary, just near Clark Avenue.
Yep.
3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, a double lock-up garage. That is really a fabulous home.
Phil, 15 Hart Street, Caulfield North. That's the last one we're going to review. This is a terrific property, Phil. We love Hart Street. It's a great location. It's situated in a beautiful little pocket, which is always improving. You know, there's a lot of money going into those streets in Hart and around. Tell us a bit about 15 Hart Street.
Well, Gary, firstly, it's 605 square metres of land and it's got a north-facing back garden. It's a very, very comfortable single-storey house that you could move straight into. We've had a lot of interest both for the house and then for people that are thinking about building their dream home. So great opportunity exists there. And I agree with you, that little pocket of Hart Avenue and Tennyson
Ripley.
and Linlithgow and Ripley and Devon and Northcote Avenue, that is a really great area in which to live.
A hot pocket that's going places, Phil. That's a big wrap because we've got to go places too. Got lots of work to do, Phil. Get on with it for the very, very busy week ahead. We hope that you had a good winter. Look, the weather wasn't too bad this winter, I reckon.
It was okay.
And I mean, I know there's people who've got all their theories about climate and whatever, but just on the face of what happened, it was a pretty good winter. You know, it wasn't that same chilly, freezing cold, wet, windy, sideways, rain kind of winter. It was quite good, and some sunshine around as well. So I'll look forward to seeing you on GPTV next week, Sunshine.
Yes, thank you, Gary. Looking forward to a busy weekend. Viewers, thanks for watching. I'm Philip Kingston. Have a great week.
I'm Gary Peer. See you next time.